After visiting Fontaine, you must be familiar with how random Furina acts, and often reading the player's laughter. She did act silly sometimes, but Furina hits something big from all of it. What if I say the Furina what we see is actually not the only Hydro Arcon? You must feel bewildered by that possibility. Let's get to the topic about 3 Furina or 3 Hydro Archons. I assume that there are 3 Furinas. The 2 of them merge and turn into the Furina that we know. During the Archon quest, it could be seen Furina was mumbling to herself, but what if it was not what it seemed like? What if Furina wasn't mumbling to herself, but she was talking to her other side? Since the Furina that we met is the merger of the 2 Furina, thus the heterochromia eyes are actually the depiction of it. Not convincing enough? Here's one solid proof to reinforce the assumption. You're familiar with Neuma and Osea, right? Once you attack the enemies with some character who have Neuma or Osea, there's an extra animation of the additional attack. Now, if you look closely at it, you must have realized there is a distinctive form of the animation. Plus, if you combine both Neuma and Osea, it looks similar to the jewel on Furina's neck. Coincidence? I don't think so. It's most likely there was Furina with Neuma energy and the other with Osea energy. They merged into one entity. So far, I said 2 Furina merged themselves. What about the 3rd Furina? Didn't you say there are 3 Furina? Whoops, hold your horses. It's not over yet. Now, I'll discuss the reason behind the 3rd Furina. It's been on my mind since I saw the 3 thrones in Coppelia and Coppelia's boss. Why are there 3 thrones when there are 1 or 2 Archons? Most likely, there's actually the 3rd Archon. The first proof is the amount of the thrones. The second one is on New Villet's teaser. We heard Furina's much more gentle and calmer, different from the Furina we know.
So, why don't you try to find the answer for yourself?
In the beginning, I thought maybe that was Furina's real personality, but what if that was the other Furina? The 3rd Furina's voice can be heard below the opera epic class Fontaine. Her cry can be heard if you stand below it.
So interminable. So lonely.
I assume she is the 3rd Furina. If that is true, the question is, why is she crying? Disclaimer, this is gonna be a little bit sad. This is also the reason we won't be meeting the 3rd Furina. Do you know the large mechanical weighing scale in the court of Fontaine? That's right, Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, or Oratrice, the high-tech device to decide the result of the court. That's actually the 3rd Furina. Wait, what? The 3rd Furina? But it is a big and advanced device. How could it be possible? Pause. Let me explain it for a bit. I assume it this way as, during the Fontaine Archon quest, it said several times that Oratrice had its own consciousness and gave the accurate evaluation at court. The final decision was absolute and imperturbable by anyone, including New Villet and the Hydro Arcon. This is what I mean. Isn't it odd to let a device to decide someone's life at the court? It makes sense if it's not an ordinary device. Another thing which enforced this assumption is during the Fontaine quest again. Lini was finding out the mystery behind Oratrice, so he decided to sneak to the basement to see it. According to Lini, he didn't see anything or even anyone. It was pitch black. But someone's voice could be heard. What if the voice which Lini heard is actually the voice of the 3rd Furina? Different from the 2 Furina who decide to merge, the 3rd one took the role of the brain of Oratrice. How could this make the 3rd Furina lonely and sad? Because she can't do anything but just be the brain of Oratrice, standing still in the darkness and being the one who decides the final decision at court. Maybe one time, when she was crying all by herself, her tears streamed down to opera epic class Fontaine. That's why we can hear Furina's cry under the Fontaine, similar to Fascia Lover in the Archon quest. From the theories, we can conclude there are 3 Furina. 2 of them merge, and the rest become the brain of Oratrice. The 3 Furina might have something to do with the rules of 3. We can talk about it in the next video. Interested? That's all about Furina. What do you think? Do you notice any details about Furina? Or maybe you have another theory? Discuss it in the comment below.